I have been drowning in sex ever since I started doing this podcast and been writing down my ideas. I've gotten so much of the old action that I've had to... I have a stick now to chase people away from my genitalia. They just come charging at it. It's terrifying.
So outrageous the toll. You can lose all you have. You refuse to give in to the down that takes all. To survive, you must have the will. How this movie doesn't end the way we want all the time. And he shouts at the moon, she's gone. Fears overcome. He was walking a mile. He was walking alone.
Stop confusing me with your different foods.
Yeah, well, I happen to like food.
Well, it's good because most people need it to live, so you got an
Yeah,
advantage there.
I almost ate a cow once.
I would say you probably ate many cows, so
Yeah, but all at once, in one bite.
okay. You want to tell us
I
about
unhinged my jaw. No, I was young and needed the money, and they told me that it wouldn't show up on my resume, okay?
that? Presumably it didn't.
Until now. Damn you, pornography!
Oh, in the Vore sense, okay. I almost mistook this for like something else. But if it's a Vore thing, it's alright.
Thank God, right?
Yeah.
It's just normal.
I mean, who wouldn't?
For a cow?
Hmm?
You wouldn't.
No, you're misunderstanding this. Vore is not. It's not eating it. It's a totally different thing. It's a spiritual thing.
You Vore with your heart.
Yeah. Early title contender.
So, is Vore vegan?
Spiritually speaking, yes. Why is this a question? Are you guys not following me here?
So if you eat the hamburger while jerking off, is that okay?
Yeah, now you got it. That's basically it. The hamburger needs to consent. That's the difficult part. Because otherwise
Oh.
it's
Yeah, you
Vore
do
rape.
need to get... Which seems... That just seems a lot like being eaten by a dragon.
Yeah, or any kind of eaten, really.
Well, I'm just assuming dragons because, they're more traditionally things that eat people whole.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to, like, vultures that tend to eat them with little
Nibble.
bites.
Yeah.
Yeah, they nibble. They're finicky eaters, which is weird because they'll eat anything, but they don't take big bites. They poke at their food for ages. There's that little kid who knows he's going to clean his plate, but he's going to take like 3 hours and get half of it on the refrigerator.
Yeah, it's weird because vultures have like huge beakers. So why?
Why little punks? Why don't they just like rip an arm off and gulp it down?
So we is this the point where we go through the entire animal kingdom and judge them on their eating habits?
No, I just have a thing against vultures. With that said, hey everybody, welcome to Funk Dunk Play Season 2, Episode 38. The episode where we really get to learn a lot. We have a lot of time spent with just Elisa and it together having a heartfelt Wait, let me check that. They're in different dimensions. Whoops.
I really wanted to hang out with Elisa today. That really was what I...
My entire plan was just to let the two of you chat, and fuck. Okay, we're doomed.
Yeah, you can ditch the Demon Lord and come join us.
Well, I need to stay alive first, kinda.
You beat up my new favorite... You killed my new favorite NPC.
Well, I told him to move, and he didn't.
He's a
He
wall!
can't! He's a wall!
He's
He doesn't have feet!
gotta get good at moving. Get good, scrub. Scrub wall.
Well, you did destroy him with, honestly, like, one of the most incredible displays of power in this entire campaign. I am, because we ended on Elisa having teleported to the top of Bilfador's tower.
Yeah, he shot the beam into the sky, and then all of his people were starting to regenerate, I think.
Yeah, starting
But
to
then we
regenerate.
saw
Yeah, they were
the
Purity Guard, yep. Because that has happened, we're now going to go back to seeing what is up with it.
I don't wanna.
Well, here's where you are.
I know where.
It's very dark.
You're in a party, or it was, but now there's a lot of blood.
As you begin to open your eyes, your head hurts.
Yes.
As if someone hit you on it.
How might that have been?
You are face down in a pile of gore and organs.
Hot.
It is, actually. It's warm. Hasn't had time to cool off, really.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, hey, look at the bright side. At least it doesn't smell like rotting flesh yet.
Hey!
Holla! Fresh cool!
Yum 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 yum.
So, you, as where you are, there is nobody other than you and the corpses in the room.
Okay. That's a good sign.
Yep, you are in a corpsey room.
Could have been
by
worse.
yourself.
Yeah. Did I lose any hit points or?
Also, I don't think that whoever hit you was attempting to really injure you.
She loved me.
I think they were attempting just to incapacitate. Yeah, it was just to knock you out, not to kill you. It was to give you a concussion, which could lead to brain damage, but not to hurt you.
Okay. So I will get up.
Okay.
And I will stumble outside.
Okay, you are still covered in blood and gore.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
I like that look.
Alright, you stumble outside.
Okay, so first of all, I will use minor illusion to put some police tape on the door frame.
The hell police.
The door frame now has yellow tape that says police line do not cross and warning crime scene and slippery when wet.
No, that's a separate sign. I think
it's the tape has that written on it. It's all kinds of caution tape just shows up.
Yeah, very thorough.
Yeah, there's one that actually does say caution hazmat area. One bit of tape says warning smooth jazz. just everything you'd want to be afraid of.
That's cool. Snakes?
Yeah. No, actually, it says beware. It says beware lack of snakes.
All right.
Yeah.
I will.
It says beware of lack of snakes because
Yeah.
this is the abyss.
Yeah. Also, there are
You know?
actually no snakes.
They would actually want there to be snakes, in general.
Why did Elisa want to leave so badly?
She never explored the opinions of the abyss on snakes.
Well, she's
You didn't really either. It just sort of
got
happened.
a quest to get back to.
When I head to glass office.
Okay. Still leaving a slight trickling trail of blood and mess behind you. At least footprints for a while. You make your way to what you have been sort of, both of you have been kind of using as your home base, during this time, the head librarian's office. As you're walking up to it, you do notice that the door to the office, which you usually keep closed, because obviously you do, is actually cracked open.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'll go inside.
When you, proudly walk inside...
I do my best to look distressed.
Okay, you look distressed.
Yes, of course.
You see, sitting at the head librarian's desk, dressed rather interestingly, wearing the bottom half of a suit of demon armor, and a rather casual gray jumper on top, with the top of the demon armor hanging on a coat hook, and it doesn't seem like it could possibly do that, but because the coat hook was tiny and the armor was huge and heavy, but it is. Daintily, one might add. You see, in fact, Everdeen Gloth.
Oh, good. I didn't want to draw this out.
Going over forms, records, detail. Basically checking up, making sure everything's been going well, it looks like.
Yeah, she
doesn't look up.
She doesn't look like something is like like something's wrong.
No, she actually looks like she's just sort of going over paper, basically catching up on everything that's happened while she's gone. She's just gone. She look at it. She doesn't even look up from the paperwork. She just sort of like leafing through it. Make little noises and
So I'll step forward to her desk. I look horrible.
You do. You are covered in just.
I'm panting.
In demon gore. You are panting. Okay. What physical? Do you still have Michael Jackson?
No, I was Elisa for the party, but I'm now back to just regular old it.
She looks up, and she has one of those sort of look-ups where it begins with her eyebrows raising, and then her eyes leave the paper and join her eyebrows, looking up. And then she kind of registers you, and then the rest of her head tilts upward, and she goes, "My God, dear, whatever happened to you? You are not looking quite well at all."
Miss Gloth, I would love to ask you how your war went. Believe me, I would.
Oh, thank you. It was wonderful. I mean,
no, look.
We slaughtered every available elf. It was complete and total racial genocide. It was lovely.
I am so
happy.
The
elven gods are starving to death right now. It's so good. Trust me. Let me tell you about a few more of the particular battles that I thought were just a hoot.
I am so happy to hear that.
And now the price of elf porn has escalated.
I was.
Oh yes, my elf porn stash is worth millions. Oh gosh.
It perks up at that.
I'd be able to build a new wing on the library just off that revenue.
I had no doubt that you would be successful. Of course, I'm again very happy for you. But listen, something. I don't want to say happened, but that's kind of the right word for it, I guess. See,
whether that or you were rolling around in your food.
It kind of like braces himself because this could be he's heading into very dangerous territory right now.
Maybe.
Your son, you had him with you, you said?
Oh yes, of course I did. He was being horrendously mutilated and brought back to life, mutilated and brought back to life. We get sort of like going on in the background. Sort of like sometimes you play music while you're trying to do like paperwork, just sort of give your brain something to do while your hands are busy, that sort of thing.
I'm sure it was lovely. I wish I could have seen it.
Oh yes, his screams were melodic.
That was a clone. Your real son escaped your torture machine, killed a room full of librarians, and ran off with Elisa.
She looks at you. You know the meme of the woman looking, and she looks confused, see all these like mathematical symbols in front of her as she's trying to figure something out?
My favorite one, yeah.
It's a beautiful meme and describes my life. She kind of has that going on for a second. And then, so you're saying that my son escaped, and I've been torturing something that just looks, acts, and responds like him.
That is what he implied in the short amount of time that he was, for lack of a better description, spouting some sort of supervillain monologue shortly before he ran off He said something about clone, yes. I don't know how that would work. You are the expert in those matters.
And then you said that our Eliza then ran off with my son.
No,
Are they getting eloped?
that is...
I really don't think they would have very attractive children, to be honest.
Listen, what happened is... from the beginning, we were holding a costume party to torture the employees. You know how you do.
Oh, that sounds brilliant. Yes,
It
I've
was.
often thought about doing that, but quite frankly, I don't have the nastiness in
I'm
me.
sure they hated it. Sadly, I wasn't there to enjoy it because I was running late, because obviously I wanted to look better than all of them. So I took my time preparing. When I got there, it was horrific. Not because, of the dead librarians. I mean, there are thousands of them. It was an unpleasant sight for a second. And there was your son in I can't call it a fight because, well, Elisa is very capable, but your son is a god, so she wasn't really much of a match for him. And by the time I got there, he had injured her. And while I was trying to figure out what to do against a literal god, he grabbed her, and I felt pain in my head, and everything went black. I woke up just now, and they were gone. He took her.
And she stands up, and she walks around the desk, and if you try to stand up or turn, she kind of very gently nudges you to keep sitting there looking forward, and she starts poking about your head with her fingers. Does it hurt here? What about here? Here? And she's not poking hard, she's trying to find where you got struck.
I have a concussion, right? So it probably does hurt.
Yes,
Okay,
it probably
that's
does
not
hurt.
a lie, probably.
No,
No.
not a lie. And she oh right, oh yes, ooh, yeah, that does look like it's smart. Hold on, let me. And she reaches into her little pocket in her top, and she pulls out a hanky, and she dabs at it, and do. There you go. Hold on, and she kisses your head, right where it got hit. Oh, there we are. Mommy, kiss it better. You'll be fine in no time.
See, in case anyone's still asking themselves why it's stuck with this lady, there you go.
She still has maternal instinct. She's just also pure evil.
Right.
She definitely looks like it was one very sharp knock to the back of the head. Definitely intended to incapacitate, not to kill.
See, I have known Jesus all my life. I am not surprised that he would maybe have reservations about killing me. We're not best friends, we've never been, but he is not the type to just outright kill someone he has a connection like that with.
Oh dear. My son is definitely nothing you might be calling good. If he attempted to knock you in the back of the head, he would have meant to kill you, because you see, you're a witness now. You can tell me at least something about his plan. My son would have murdered you. Very swiftly, and in probably the coldest of blood. It would not make strategic sense for him to let you live.
I can't tell you then why he left me alive if it wasn't for nostalgic reasons. That is still my guess, though. But maybe that's just my mortal perspective. In any case, and I look up at her.
By the way, when you say mortal perspective, her eyebrows
Oh,
raise a
believe
little
me,
bit.
it's coming. It's coming. I look up at her, like, really earnestly and say, I can't tell you how sorry I am that I couldn't stop him. I really didn't want to disappoint you. You entrusted us with, well, everything down here, and that might have included him, even though he is a god.
Oh, to be fair, dear, I thought he was with me. Hold on. I need to check something. She reaches, and she hits a button on her desk that you never noticed before. And she goes, bring my son up here. And within a few seconds, there's a little portal opens, just in the air. And a librarian appears on the other end, and it prods Jesus Hellforge through the portal.
Okay.
Alright, Jeezy. Are you really my son? And Jesus Hellforge goes, yes, I am your son. Are you in fact a clone in any way? No, I am not a clone. You see, he seems very, very much... I mean, I can't tell the difference. Are you sure this isn't really him?
Have you asked him any personal questions during your time together?
Oh, I've occasionally asked him how much it hurt, and he's said quite a bit. Tell you, son, how much has the torture hurt? It has been very painful. It hurt a lot.
Well,
I begged for death. See, again, well, how much more personal do you want me to get? He's his own man. What am I supposed to do? Ask him how his luck with girls has been? As if he's, I don't know, gone through the pimply phase? I don't know what boys do.
Jesus, could you answer one question for me? What sort of animal used to follow me around all day and glare at me judgmentally? Can you remember?
He looks at you, and he crunches his forehead for a second and goes, would you really refer to Elisa in such a way? But yes, a snake did.
Any four-legged ones you can recall?
He just doesn't respond, and he immediately just looks back towards Everdeen.
Look, he remembers everything. And I mean everything. Although, if you think this might really be your son, then, well, if the thought makes you happy, then I won't prod any further.
Well, I suppose there's one way to find out if I really... just to see if you're telling me the truth.
Wait, me or him?
Either one of you, take your pick.
Yeah, okay, I was wondering if I had to do something more than just be charming here.
Let's see, something only my son would know. That he wouldn't have imbued a clone with. That's difficult. What is 3 times 5? Jesus Hellforge just starts looking between the two of you. Oh dear. Didn't give it math. I mean, in reality, it probably makes it more like my son than you'd expect, but that reaction was definitely not like him. Ooh, the smoke coming out of the ears, too. Totally abnormal. I wasn't expecting that.
Huh, on the bright side, you got to torture somebody, right?
Oh, yes, I mean, a day that's spent with making something wish it was dead is definitely a day worth having been, but if that means... that my son has stolen your pet snake, I suppose?
It grins.
Well, I dare say that I've been looking at the papers, and the whole library seems to be working relatively well. Can you think of a reason you would have come here in the first place, and then left having kidnapped your friend?
Come here in the first place. Well, yes, of course, to get his friends back. But that's, of course, impossible.
Of course it is.
Why he would take Elisa... Well, the only thing I can think of right now is to take her back to the prime material and use her as a sort of leverage against maybe our church.
In that case, why not take you? You actually follow the religion, I've come to believe.
Well, she was already worn out by the time I arrived. Maybe he thought I would put up too much of a fight. I'm not... Listen, oh, my head. It's all so much. I just wanted to torture some employees at a costume party.
Dear me. She comes around the desk again. Oh, you poor thing. Listen. And two giant, gargoyle-like demons appear out of thin air.
Oh, that's gonna help.
And, but they are both wearing nurses' outfits. And Gloss goes, Rebecca, Tiffany, see to this poor boy. Make sure that head wound is okay. Get him a bunch of fluids and some rest. He's had a hell of a day, apparently, and I fear that relatively soon he's going to have a hell of a week. But I want to make sure he's gotten rested, and, if you need to give him any of the medicine, use your arts of healing and stuff. And one of them just sort of gives, an assenting grunt and begins to lead you away, and the other one gives a small salute and says, "Oh, but of course, as I will do our best."
Oh.
And they lumber off, having to fold in their gigantic spiked wings to lead you out the door.
Yeah, it just, looks back and says, "Thank you, and I'm sorry."
Oh, trust me, there's nothing to be sorry about. The cursed offspring of my vagina has caused me nothing but trouble.
Yes, indeed. By the way, I didn't want to screw myself over, but really no deception at all? No rolls? Thank you. This could have gone very differently.
The reason for that is,
she loves me, yeah.
She does. She has a lot of affection towards you, and also, her experiences of the last, millennia or stuff have been being the single iron-fisted ruler of a layer of hell. No one has dared to lie to her in over 1,000 years.
Okay.
Basically,
phew,
she's kind of credulous, especially when it's around someone she trusts. So that's the whole reasoning.
Okay, I'm not exploiting that at all.
And also, of course, it might not even realize that. You also appear to be showing up to turn state's evidence, basically, to tell her about this thing that had happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's intentional.
She had no reason to doubt you. Even if you the whole thing of every time you lie, you have to make a roll for it. That wasn't a really big lie. You changed a couple details about a true story,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he took her. Well, I'm glad this worked out. I'm still alive.
Yes, it did. You have a mom. You have a demon mom. You have a mom. Okay, so now we are going to zing back to the top of Bilfador's tower.
Hmm.
The real Jesus Hellforge had just noticed, via conversation with Elisa, that, oh yes, those are in fact the Purity Guard of Whelp are either encamped or rapidly approaching. They're visible, is the point. And right after he says the episode ending line from last episode, which I believe is shit. I think that was the line. Suddenly, Elisa, you hear, because you were standing basically side by side on the top of this tower, you hear kind of like a thud to your left.
Hmm.
And if you look, Hellforge has basically just dropped down to a very low crouch. He's like on his hands and knees.
Okay, Elisa's just gonna stare and...
What are you doing? We need to get back to the church right now.
Well, I'm telling you, that might not happen right away. But listen, Snakey Lady, I know you still need me, and right now, I need you. I use the last of my little pool of divine energy to bring back my followers, give them back their souls, etc. Right now, all that's powering me is Abyssal divine energy, and shit, that stuff did not feel good. But, listen, if those Whelpian assholes make this place into a crater, everything I just done is going to be useless, and you are not going to have a god on your side because I won't really exist. And you will all be dead. It'll be bad.
So are you saying I need to keep them out long enough for you people to... whatever they're doing? Because I'm not sure I can do that. I've gained some information while I was there, and I might, in a little while, once you can perform a certain ritual for me, I might be able to do something about this Purity Guard, but I can't right now.
He looks up at you and goes, well, Snakey Lady, I had really been counting on your resourcefulness.
They don't seem like the type to listen to a strongly worded argument, is what I'm saying.
They're priests. That's like 90% of their lives are strongly worded arguments. That, and I think the other 5% is half and half murdering and diddling. I don't know. I'm not into religion. It's just weird because I'm a god.
All right. How long do we have until they get here? Can I at least get you back to the church? I mean, would there be time for me to rest and get these... I used a lot of spells killing that wall.
I can't go back into the church. Thing about gods and, they're not team players. Here's the thing. You gotta somehow turn them around. And now, you wanna know the good part? Gotta make sure everyone thinks I did it.
Alright.
Now, bolster the belief energy to the point where we'll be able to do anything.
I have to do it from a place where all of your followers' souls can see me doing this. I just want to be clear here.
They're gonna be reconstituting their bodies for a while. Chances are they won't even be fully conscious by the time either you turn these guys away or they make this whole place into a rather interesting semi-underground artifact.
Okay, so just to be clear, do they need to somehow see me doing this, or do I just need to spin a story after I do it to say that you did it?
Just lie it to them.
Alright.
That's all that needs. Come on, we're talking about religion. It's not exactly based on truth.
Look, I'm proficient at lying. I have a +9 bonus to it right now.
She really
I
does.
was never very good at math.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you rest. And I guess it's good that you can't go in the church. You won't get to see what I did to your chair.
And for a second, he looks up at you very wistfully, like,
Look, I was angry.
I love that chair. And then he flops down onto his stomach again.
Okay, so Elisa will just roll her eyes at all the dramatics with Hellforge, and then levitate off the tower and just kind of levitate, hop from building to building until she gets to the wall of the city. How close is the Purity Guard from here? Are they in shouting range, or?
Well, you actually, you weren't able to see them from the tower. You were able to know they were coming because of Hellforge's, eyesight, because of God of Spies. But when you get to the wall, you can see them. They look like they're about a mile out.
Yeah, so I guess I'll wait here and watch them approach. And I'm not making any attempt to hide that I'm standing here. I'm just standing here. But I do want to address them before they start firing.
The Purity Guard is a surprisingly small outfit, where there's still it's a lot of people. It looks like it definitely could be judged to be in the high 3 figures to low 4 figures, instead of the 2 million soldiers that Wildpid had sent in their initial siege force. This looks to be maybe between 900 to 1,200 people, with the majority of them seeming to be almost just support people. But in the front are obviously, you might say, the weaponized priests. They're all dressed in really shining metal armor with white vestments over the armor. Many of them are riding armored horses and are carrying in each hand various holy symbols, and the horses are being led by what look like servants. People leading the horses are dressed almost like peasants, whereas the people on the horses are dressed like priest kings, comparatively. They're coming at a rather deliberate and slow pace, and the whole time they're doing it, there's a very low murmur of religious-sounding chanting, but almost like it's...
Are they hitting themselves in the head with books, though?
No. The one is, I swear, going... Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah. Got our Monty Python in there.
It's like that, but without the whomping.
Unless they're beating their shields every time.
You know what? I would almost go with that, but I just don't want to completely steal a joke. I do that enough. I completely steal jokes enough. This is a really well-known joke to steal. But there is background praying. It almost sounds like, as they are making their way, and all the warrior priest looking dudes. They don't appear to have weapons. But yeah, they come to a halt about maybe 20 feet away from the city walls.
Okay, yeah, so Elisa's going to shout down to them.
Forces from Web, welcome. I regret to inform you that the inhabitants of this city are already deceased.
And there's a murmuring that goes through the non-mounted people. The mounted ones do stop any of their chanting, and they sort of look around, and one of them leans over to another guy on a horse. There's a whisper conversation, and he takes his 2 holy symbols, which one, by the way, looks like a giant. All you can really tell is diamond shaped, like a square on its angle, kind of diamond shaped, on a rod, and the other one is, it looks like a very stylized wolf head on another rod. He places them both in holsters on his saddle. He cups his hands over his mouth and goes, "They're what now?"
"They're dead! All of them!"
Another whispered conversation. "Well, then where are our boys, then?"
"They're dead as well. And I can tell you who is to blame."
"Well, I know who's to blame. It's you lot."
No, they were taken by a demon lord who was consorting with the Bat family. Through their wizard. Their wizard opened a portal and allowed that demon lord to steal the souls of everyone in this city. Now I know what you're thinking. I'm here, yes. I am under the protection of the newborn god, Jesus Hellforge.
There's more murmuring. And then there's sort of like a shuffling in the horses. You see like someone is riding from behind up to the front. And he is in the most resplendent armor. It's ridiculous how ornate this shit is. I mean, it looks like he can barely move in it, is how ornate it is. It's clearly not meant for battle. It's got actual full, gilded, like, images of wolves at battle on the pauldron, for Christ's sake. I mean, this thing it belongs in a museum, is my point. Because it has to be an Indiana Jones reference in every episode going forward.
Also,
And,
historically speaking, if you want to be historically accurate, there's 100% chance he's peed in it. So, you want that image.
That's a rust spot.
Well-
Piss is running out of his.
Well, actually, you can discover that if you really want to get intimate with him and like find out what's going on under his armor. But he's not going to comment and mention that going forward. Not going to be like, by the way, I peed in
I
this.
think I'm out of smell range where I am.
He rides forward and he goes, I am Cardinal Admiral Campbell Soup, and I lead this division of the Purity Guard. And are you trying to tell me that Belfador, son of Whelp, pride of our capital city, most beloved of the immortal gay wizards, would have unleashed a demon lord to destroy the army of the city of his birth?
Elisa is going to sigh and make a show of feeling kind of down about this, and then she's going to descend through levitation to the ground so we don't have to keep shouting. And
Okay.
just approach with her head down and say,
I believe it was more complicated than that. He was under the employ of the Bat family. He was attempting to reach out to this demon lord for information regarding some sort of ritual that they wanted to end the world, as I've come to understand. But he was betrayed by the demon lord, who took all of your soldiers and all of our people. The Butts betrayed all of us in this.
He's looking down at you from his horse.
Mm.
And he goes, hold on! And his hand, covered in this gigantic gauntlet, which itself has, like, battle scenes on it. It's incredible. He reaches down onto his saddle, and he does something. You can't quite tell what he does, but then you just hear a noise like, psh, like that.
like him pissing in his armor.
And no, it's more like gas escaping something. More than like a gas noise.
Yeah.
And
No, he's about to
his
get out of his horse armor mecha.
His armor just splits down the middle, and he leaps out of it wearing a pair of boxer shorts and a t-shirt.
Okay, so he's Arthur.
And very
from,
comfortable shoes. What?
He's Arthur from that Super Ghouls and Goblins game.
Yes, he has hearts on them, actually. Yeah. But he's wearing a t-shirt, so he's not totally Arthur, and he doesn't have an unlimited supply of lances to throw.
Okay.
He goes, okay, yeah, that's a lot better. Oh, God. I'd never gone to the priesthood if I knew I had to wear that damn thing every time we did business. It's not even a real horse. A fake horse. Real horse couldn't carry that armor. It weighed over 2 tons. Believe me, it's extremely uncomfortable. So wait, but what you're telling me is that Bill Fedor got betrayed by the Butt family while wait, did the Butts cause the Demon Lord thing to eat everybody?
I'm not sure how connected the two of them are. They both have plans to destroy all of us.
Oh, well, who doesn't?
Yes.
I mean, we've known about the Butt family having some sort of a plan for ages. That's why we honestly sent Bill Fedor over here in the first place, didn't expect him to die. That's kind of rude for an immortal to do. Still, we're not really sure how that worked. And honestly, I mean, his body's been killed a few times before, but he's always, reconstituted his body, but he didn't this time, which is really... God only knows where his soul ended up. God. I hope he's not, stuck in a dog or something. That'd be really... Oh, God. I would hate that.
Oh, no.
But, so, still, if the butts are the general cause of this city is still there, so we would still have to raise it to the ground, destroy it, and, salt the earth and all that. It's really just... It's only sporting if we do that. It's kind of the rules.
To be honest, it seems like a waste of resources, especially when the butts are all holed up in their manor over at Castle del Butt. They're trying to wait out the storm. They evacuated the city because they knew that the Demon Lord would be devouring all the souls very soon.
Well, I got to admit, that's actually pretty good planning on their part. I mean, I got to admit, if I knew that I was in a city that was going to be devoured by a Demon Lord, I'd probably, well, not me. I'm a warrior priest. I'm a cardinal admiral. I would probably just call upon the fury of my god to defeat it. But if I was a regular person, I would definitely leave. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, guys. Hold on. Can we get a scryer over here? Someone with a crystal ball, or maybe just good intuition, or great at picking baseball games. Somebody over here that can predict the future, or see things, or farsight, or I'll take farscape at this point. Anything.
Alyssa's just standing there. She doesn't know how to respond to that.
Yeah. And a little old lady walks up with a briefcase, and she's wearing heavy, ragged looking robes. They look like they're in the worst condition. He goes, "Ah, good, a crone. Thank goodness. I didn't know if we had one of you with us. All right, you want to set up?" She holds the briefcase in front of her, and 3 legs shoot out from it to land on the ground. And she opens it, and a crystal ball just pops right up. And she starts doing a couple incantations, looking into the crystal ball. And she goes, "Yeah, Snakey one's right. They're not here. Not over here. All we got is one almost. Can't really tell what it is, and a few things which are not quite alive, but yeah. No members of the Butt family in this place."
It's just me, Hellforge, and a few of his other followers who were horribly damaged by the attack.
Well, I got to admit, that's definitely how it seems that it is. Shite. Yeah. Whew. That is definitely egg on my face. Got to admit that. I mean, we were in the middle of casting an incantation that would have turned this entire place into, well, we were aiming for somewhere between a crater and a diamond mine. We're hoping maybe to use it to get diamonds later. Really recoup the cost.
Castle del Butt would be your place for that. I'm sure their riches are there, too.
Yeah, not really interested in their riches because, they've been touched by butts.
True.
But you know what? Hold on. He reaches into, wait, doesn't have pockets. He reaches into one of the saddlebags.
Reaches down into his boxers.
Reaches into his boxers, could you show me on my nutsack where that is? Fuck it, that's actually what he does. No.
If he's going for a map, maybe he's just got his stuff down in shorts.
Yeah, he reaches into the saddlebag, and he pulls out a map of the area. It's actually really, really detailed. More detailed than any map of Trask you've ever seen in Trask. It's got details that you didn't even know existed. And also things that you knew existed that were never on a map. Just areas where a road maybe was relatively low-lying next to a creek, and therefore it was in danger of flooding during a rainy season. It was marked on this map. And he goes, "Alright, now, is this right here?" He points at a picture of an ornate house with a giant wall around it. Is that one up here? Just up there, but, there, and he kind of makes points in the general direction of Castle del Butt.
I mean, I assume Elisa would know because we were on the road to get there when we intercepted
Yeah,
Captain Buck.
you know. Yeah, so you know where it is.
Yeah, so she'll point to the correct spot.
Yeah. All right. Well, I get. Do you happen to know anything about the people of the town of Harn?
I've been there once.
Do you know that would count? I mean, just in your opinion, as a really good military target? Because it's listed there as a bonus objective. Like after we, get revenge and destroy that, we wipe that town out off the planet, and we get like a little bonus. If it's not really worth it, quite frankly,
It's a
I'd just
rather
wanna head
silly
home.
place, to be honest.
Let's not go there. It's a silly place.
I mean, it is.
So, do they have Are there any kind of military forces there, or anything they could defend themselves with?
Not really, no.
Just your average farming village, huh?
Yeah, no, there's some people afflicted by some kind of curse that makes them fat.
He looks, all of a sudden, his eyes just kind of go wide, and he looks at his armor, and then he looks back at you, and then he looks at his armor, and he looks back at you, and he goes, I don't hate to tell you, marching a couple days in one of these? Whew! I do not need to get near anyone else's farts to spend enough time with my own.
Yeah, it's not worth the risk. It might be contagious.
Absolutely. Okay. He turns around. All right, boys. We're not gonna go to Harn. Apparently it's a bit of a pisser. We're just gonna go to Casa del Butt. We're gonna do like Diamond Mine, I think. Yeah, Diamond Mine. Is everyone good with Diamond Mine? All right, show of hands. Oh, okay. What about just Crater? You what? Okay, yeah. You have to raise your hand for one of them. No, you have to pick one. No, we can't do the flower field one again. It's dumb. Nobody gets terrified with we're going to turn your entire city into a field of sunflowers. It's not intimidating. I don't care if it's prettier. Diamond Mine or Crater. Okay, Diamond Mine. Alright, yeah, we'll just turn that place into a Diamond Mine, and then we'll probably be heading home. Hey, thanks for your help, Snake Lady. You ain't got a nose, but, that's probably for the best. This group here's a little bit whiffy.
And thank you. The bats have been a plague on this land for far too long.
Yeah, I mean, every couple hundred years, apparently, they're trying to destroy the world or something, and usually we stop them, and, one or two of them miraculously survive. We're not really sure how. We've killed every living member of the family 4 times, and they keep popping back up like bamboo or some shit. You ever try to get rid of bamboo that's growing on your property? It's really tough because no matter what you do, it's always just that tiny bit of bamboo. The next thing you know, the whole fucking forest of the shit. Oh man, I'm telling you, man. Oh, anyway, I'm getting distracted. I don't like to talk about gardening, but that's my 2 passions. Then religious warfare and gardening. I'm really into that. I'm working on some stuff with beans that I think was going to really help people learn how to enhance their yield in their crops, but I'm not quite done with that yet. So, look that up. Check it out when I'm done. It's going to be good. Anyway, guys, turn around. Just going to destroy the butts and head the heckity heck out of here. Hey, anybody want to get pizza on the way back? Show of hands. Okay, pizza it is. Okay, murder and then pizza, right? Okay, guys. He gives you finger guns.
I'll be in touch if I come across any more members of the butts. You can get rid of them all for good.
Yeah, well, if they've all headed over there, then I have a real good feeling about this. I think this is, this could be the time that we actually root them all out. It's not like there's, any, secret or mortal butt that can, make secret magic butts out of, we're just probably missing a few every now and then, kind of like bamboo. Fucking bamboo.
Yeah, Elisa just nods knowingly.
And he climbs back up onto his horse, and there's another noise, like steam escaping from a valve, and the armor closes in around him again. Tally-ho! And they all start, not really at any kind of more than just the slow walking pace they had been, but they turn away from the city and begin walking in the general direction of Casa del Butt.
Okay. So Elisa will sigh with relief and then levitate back into the city. I want to check on Hellforge first before I go back into the church to finally rest up.
Okay.
If he's conscious, I'll just see what he has to say. If not, I'll just go to the church. I assume he'll be fine sleeping where he is.
Yeah, he is still on top of the tower, yeah. Now, it's been, I would say, about an hour since you left him. Because they aren't, the Walpians were not moving fast. They were moving actually at a very slow, deliberate pace. But when you get back to the top of the tower, he's sort of like making his way back to his feet, and he looks a heck of a lot better. When you left him, he really did look like he could barely even raise his head. He could barely even talk in a jive DJ voice. He seems to have a little bit more life to him. He goes, did you succeed in the mission of getting rid of those jackasses?
Yes, no, I redirected them to go to Casa del Bet. They can finish off anything that's left there.
Excellent. That's what I call re-aiming the bad guys at the other bad guys. That's not a really good title for a thing.
Yes, well, we'll have to
I've had a
discuss
rough
that
day.
more sometime soon. I have some information that I may have some allies in Whelp.
You mean more sneaky people?
I believe so, yes.
Huh, none of my agents ever really turned up all that many sneaky people.
Yes, I was beginning to wonder if you'd even sent that letter. I mean, that's why the chair thing happened.
Do you often take out your frustration on furniture?
When there's no people around.
That is, well, fair. I'll be gathering my agents, and we'll be setting up shop, let me see, and he looks around. He goes, right there. And he points towards the middle of the city, where there's a large sort of domed building. And he goes, I think that building right there that people might think of it as the old Traskian Capital Government building. That looks like a beautiful temple of me. So I'm going to be busy telling my followers how wonderful I am and getting them to really, really ramp up the religious furor.
Yes, I left a few allies back at the church, so I'll have to go get them and meet you there.
Alright, you do that and you find out the things you need to find out, and then hopefully, I'll be able to repay you. Because I don't owe you a boon, I owe you something far more valuable. I owe you a personal favor.
So Elisa's gonna go back to the church. She mainly wants to go retrieve Octavian Nut and see how Sarah and Captain Fancy did with checking on the manor that's about to be nuked.
You enter into the church like normal. The plane shifting. What do you know? The plane. Now that you've done proper extraplanar travel from the Abyss and back, you notice that the plane shifting into the church doesn't feel anything like that. But it might be because of the church existing in multiple planes at once. It doesn't feel like you're actually completely transitioning plane of existence, stuff like that. But yeah, so you are back in the church. Where are you going first?
I've been gone for 3 weeks, so I don't know if any of them are in the rooms that I left them in.
They haven't moved.
So I guess I'll start looking around. I guess I could check my room. I'm sure Octavian Nut is probably still sitting in there.
If you check your room, Octavian Nut is in fact sitting in a chair, staring at the wall.
Okay.
And there is a note that is attached to his forehead with some sort of sticky resin. There is no such thing as tape here, so it's like a sticky resin.
Okay.
And if you look at the note, it is from an anonymous member of the many, apologizing for the destruction of the pants that Octavian Nut arrived in, but they didn't understand at first that he wouldn't take care of himself. So he shat his pants a lot. They kept bringing him food and wondering what the smell was until they realized that he had shat a hole in his pants. So they had started then putting him in clothing, and if they just told him, use the bathroom, he would. But he had to be told. And so unfortunately, he did shit a hole straight through his pants. The pants are washed and hanging up next to him, and there was just a big hole in the butt.
Okay, so Elisa will take the note, crumple it up, and just point at Octavian Nut and gesture for him to follow.
Without a word, he just stands up and starts following you.
Okay, so we'll turn around, head out of there. I guess check Hellforge's office. Go see if that chair is still as melted as it was before.
You walk into Jesus Hellforge's office, and his chair has been cleaned out. It is gone, and has been replaced by a little metal folding chair with a note on it that says placeholder.
How easily visible is the note that I don't know is there?
The note that you don't know is there is sitting right on top of his desk, but if from the doorway you wouldn't be able to see it, you would have to walk in and actually look at his desk.
Okay, I guess contrived reasons I'd said to walk in.
Okay, for contrived reasons, you walk in and look at his desk. And there's a letter written in a flowing cursive hand. Is the name Elisa.
Okay, yeah, so she looks at it a
There was a beak
little
mark
curious, confused, and then realizing what it is, she just grabs it, points at, or like turns around, looks at Octavian Nut, points at him, points at the ground to tell him to stay put, and then runs back at...
He lays down.
Yeah. That's fine.
Face down on the ground.
She wants to read the note on her own. She doesn't want anyone else there. So she's just going to take it, go back to her room, close the door, and just kind of sit on the ground, like back up against the door so nobody can get in, and open the note.
The note reads, Dearest Elisa, we were most excited to receive your little note. I was just saying to Vestitude how much it would brighten my day if some of the rebellious youth took an active interest in social policy like we did in our time. Your warnings about the monkey tribe called Butt show a real knack for getting to the bottom of what is directly in front of you, which is admirable for one of your upbringing. We do strive, do we not? This little ape gang has been an unpleasant weed in our garden for far too long, and like many weeds, we have uprooted it several times, only to look back a couple 100 years later and find it all over the front yard. So maybe less weed and more vampire? Lich? Regicidal democratic revolution? One of those things you stamp out only to have it come back again and again. By the time you get this, over 2 million of our little pets will have descended on that village you call Stab in order to wipe out the butt stain for good. For far too long our predecessors have erred on the side of caution, unwilling to risk the rabble that we so easily rule from our country estates, palatial penthouses, and tourist information centers which are certainly not brothels. But what good is a snarling attack dog if you're unwilling to let it loose to do the good work for the community? Once these vermin have been eradicated, I'm sure any fears you have of human boogeymen will die with them. If you still feel like you have something to contribute to the national conversation, why not stop by and pay us a visit? I'm sure some of my younger aides would have a lovely time entertaining you. Serpens regnum. Crimea. Last name withheld for tax purposes. And there's no real indication as to where you would have this audience with them, but it seems to be implied that you'd know.
Okay, yeah, so Elisa will just kind of set the letter down in her lap and just tilt her head back and stare at the ceiling. Like she doesn't know what to do right now.
Oh, I want to hug her.
No, it could have been worse. Depending on the wording of the letter, she could have been angry, she could have been crying. Now she's just kind of, okay, what now?
I have been taken care of by Rebecca and Tiffany, and I I want to head back to Glossoff if she's there.
You have been treated by the 2 most attentive gargoyle nurses ever. They are super nice. They have given you warm chicken soup, which, by the way, you've just discovered you love.
Okay.
You rolled an 18 on chicken soup.
Accidentally, yeah. Does it have hell pickles, though?
Only if you want them.
I want them.
It has hell pickles.
Okay, so, if I go try to find Gloth in her office, is she there? Or is she busy torturing somebody?
No, she is in her office.
Of course.
It's been about a day. She is still sort of catching up on back paperwork.
Oh, okay, all the shit we didn't
catching
do
up
yet.
on everything. Well, no, she kind of reviewing all the shit you did do.
Oh, okay, cool.
Making sure everything's good. You know, I mean, it's her home. She wants to make sure everything's, fit.
Yeah. Ms. Gloth, would you have a minute?
She looks up. Oh, darling, of course I've got a minute for you. How is your head?
Much better, thank you. I'm still...
Excellent. Did you enjoy the hell pickles in the soup?
I gotta say, these were the best hell pickles I've ever eaten. Which says a lot.
I'm often of the feeling that everyone just needs to be given the pickle now and then.
I sit down. I just have one question, and I'm not even sure if you want to answer that for me, but it's been going on through my mind pretty much ever since we came here. And now I'm thinking more and more about how I'm surrounded by gods and elder beings, and it's just...
Yes, I know. I mean, it is rather interesting. Better than being surrounded by smelly mortals all the time.
Yeah,
They do smell, you know.
Is exactly what I wanted to ask, because you keep... Call me crazy, but you keep giving me these looks. You said, right when we met, you said there was something special about me, and I just wanted to ask you, can you tell me what that is?
Oh, well, actually, there's many things about you. And she opens up a notebook. I mean, looking at your logs, you're extremely dutiful about your work. Really, the other one did a lot of her own research and stuff, but you were very, very strict on making sure all the books got reshowed properly. Other than that, of course, she closed the notebook. There is the fact you are an avatar of a god. I mean, come now, that's certainly something to be proud of.
Yes. That.
Oh, is avatar the right word? Oh, I always get them confused. No, not avatar. Oh, you can't bend the air. Oh, what was the word? Chosen of the... That's right, you're the chosen of that traveler fellow. I mean, his power's like virtually dripping off every bit of you. You're quite filthy with it. And I mean, obviously, other than that, I mean... There's what was obviously done to you that... I mean, you weren't always like this, I suppose. I mean, just looking at you, dear. I mean, you're quite the handsome young man, obviously. But it almost seemed like at one point you probably only even had one soul. I mean, now you've got 2. That's impressive.
I'm sorry, what?
So outrageous to toll. You can lose